Have you ever wondered why you're drawn to certain moments, why you feel compelled to watch a specific video at a particular time? Is it really just chance, or is there a hidden message being whispered to you by the universe itself? Perhaps, just perhaps, you were guided here to this exact point because you are on the verge of discovering something truly profound, something that will shift how you interact with the very fabric of reality. This isn't just another video. It's a sign, a gentle nudge that you're ready for a powerful transformation. There is a specific co-creation technique, and it's not something you'll chase or seek out. Instead, this technique will find you when you are truly prepared, when you have achieved the correct state of internal readiness. It's a secret shared by very few, revealed only to those who are genuinely open to receive its power. The reality you experience, your external world, is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state, a mirror image of your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. The inner landscape determines what unfolds around you. Think of it like a radio receiver. If you are not tuned to the correct frequency, you will never be able to receive the message, no matter how loud it's being broadcast. This is how your internal state attracts specific circumstances and opportunities. When your inner being is aligned, it acts like a magnet, drawing in those experiences that are in perfect harmony with your frequency. It's not about forcing or manipulating, but rather, it is about aligning yourself, tuning into the right channel. This understanding is fundamental to grasping the power of co-creation, and this will be the central idea we unpack in this video. The technique itself, which we will eventually reveal, is not the magic bullet. It will simply amplify your existing state of being. True readiness, however, isn't about reaching a destination. It's about embodying a state of internal harmony, a place of calm presence, deep gratitude, and profound self-awareness. It's not about struggling to find something, but rather about gently surrendering to the flow of life itself. You're ready when there's an absence of fear, a deep sense of peace, and a crystal-clear vision of where you're headed and the future that awaits you. This feeling of preparedness is essential because it acts as the catalyst for the co-creation technique to be revealed. This is the key. The technique does not create the harmony, instead the harmony invites the technique. When you embody this state of inner alignment, the universe responds in kind, opening doors you never knew existed. You'll notice subtle shifts in your reality, synchronicities that feel intentional, opportunities that come seemingly from nowhere, all leading you to an understanding of this technique. But why is all of this so critical, so essential for living a more fulfilling life? Because understanding this co-creation process is about claiming your power to create the life you truly desire. It's about shifting from being a passive observer of your circumstances to becoming an active participant in your own reality. It's about understanding that your present experiences are not accidents or cruel twists of fate, but instead, they are a perfect reflection of your internal world. When you learn to master this process, to deliberately shape your inner state, you shift from being a victim of your reality to being a conscious creator. This allows you to move from a mindset of lack to one of abundance. It isn't just about manifesting things, it's about manifesting a more fulfilling life, a life that reflects your inner peace and joy. Once you learn how to harness this process, you'll become a magnet for positive experiences. This is not just some esoteric theory, but a practical understanding of how your inner world creates your outer world. This knowledge has profound implications for anyone seeking to craft a life that is both abundant and intentional. You're not just listening to an abstract lecture. You're taking the first step towards claiming your inherent power to design your life deliberately. The technique, when it is revealed, is not merely a formula to follow. It's a mechanism to use to shift your inner state so that your external world matches it. And as we explore these ideas further, you'll come to understand that it's always the internal work that precedes the external manifestation. You are not a passive receiver of your circumstances. You're a conscious co-creator, and the power to shape your reality is not just a possibility, but an absolute truth. Now, let's ground this in a framework that many have come to recognize as truth. James Allen, in his profound work, As a Man Thinketh, spoke at length about the power of thought to shape our reality. He showed us that our inner world, our thoughts and beliefs, are not separate from our lived experiences. Instead, they are the very foundation upon which our lives are built. This powerful concept is at the heart of the co-creation process, reminding us that we must take responsibility for our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, because they act as blueprints for our reality. Your internal world is not a passive recipient of reality. It's an active agent in shaping it. So, what does it mean to be a conscious partner with universal energies? Co-creation is when you move from wishing for things to actively collaborating with the universe, and by aligning your inner intentions with its infinite flow. It is about understanding that you are not alone in this process, but instead are working in conjunction with a higher intelligence, a source that is always working for you. This technique that I am about to share with you will allow you to deliberately draw specific circumstances into your life, not by manipulating or forcing, but by aligning your intentions with the infinite potential of the universe. And here's where it gets interesting. The technique that will allow you to enter this state of co-creation will only be revealed when you have done the inner work that prepares you for it. This isn't a technique that is chased. It's a technique that is received. It is not something you find, but something that finds you when you have reached the appropriate level of inner alignment. You can't skip the process. The inner work is an absolute necessity. This also means that any external technique you might have tried before will not create any lasting shifts if your inner world is not in alignment with what you are asking for. And as we get deeper into the practice, you'll see how fundamental this idea truly is. Now, let me introduce you to one of the main components of this technique, a form of repetition done each night just before you fall asleep. This is not just a random practice. It's a powerful process that allows you to impact the subconscious mind while it's most susceptible to change. Repetition at night before bed is not just about affirmations or wishes. It's a way to rewrite core beliefs, to imprint a new vision of reality, and to deliberately shift your internal state. And as you start to use this, you will see the shifts occurring automatically. Now, let me ask you, is your current reality truly what you desire? Are you living the life you've always dreamed of, or are you simply accepting circumstances that are less than what you deserve? If your internal world is out of alignment with what you want, you will experience frustration and disappointment. This is why the co-creation technique is not some magic pill, but instead, it's a natural outcome of aligning with the universal laws that govern our experience. The technique itself is quite subtle, and it's not something you can just force into existence. It's like a seed that only blooms when the soil is fertile and ready. The technique is a delicate dance, a partnership, not manipulation. You are not trying to force the universe to comply. You are aligning yourself with the universe's natural flow. When you approach this with that level of understanding, you start to see the process unfold with remarkable ease. Let me share a quick example. A friend of mine recently started focusing on feelings of gratitude and abundance. As a result, she began to attract opportunities that were once far outside her experience. She told me she didn't change anything she did out there. Rather, everything changed when she changed her inner state, which led to her meeting new people who had new opportunities for her to explore. It was as though the universe was responding directly to her shift in frequency. This example is small, but it demonstrates how a specific internal state can draw specific external circumstances, and it's a pattern you will begin to see again and again once you start to understand it. And now, as we go deeper into this, you will begin to see that the co-creation technique involves not only this specific form of repetition, but also a very powerful element of letting go of the outcome, and how this paradox is the key to experiencing a transformation unlike anything you have ever seen. So, let's dive deeper into what it truly means to be ready. It's not simply about feeling optimistic or having a positive attitude. Instead, It's about embodying a state of being that aligns with the very essence of creation itself. Think of it like this. A seed doesn't sprout simply because you want it to. It grows when it finds the right conditions: fertile soil, adequate sunlight, and consistent moisture. Similarly, your inner state needs to be cultivated with intention, with stillness, presence, gratitude, and profound self-awareness. These aren't passive qualities that magically appear. They are actively cultivated through personal practice. A restless mind, constantly bombarded with thoughts and anxieties, is like a stormy sea, incapable of reflecting the clarity of the sky. True readiness is found when you learn to calm this storm, when you find the stillness within, where the deeper insights and intuitions can be heard. And that deeper intuition is exactly what reveals the co-creation technique itself. When you can quiet the internal chaos, you make room for a more profound understanding of how your inner state shapes your outer reality. This technique is not designed for those who have not yet learned how to cultivate these states. It is the reward for doing the inner work first. The technique, then, is not about creating the stillness. It's about amplifying a stillness you already embody. Now, let's shift our perspective slightly. True readiness isn't about actively seeking, it's about aligning. It's the movement from chasing to attracting. It's like tuning a radio, not by frantically searching for a signal, but by carefully adjusting the dial until the signal becomes clear. This analogy is vital because it places the responsibility for receiving the signal squarely with you. The technique isn't something you chase. It is something that will manifest when your internal state aligns with its required frequency. If you are out of tune, you can't expect to receive a clear signal. You might get static or interference, which shows up as the challenges you see in the external world. But when your internal frequency matches the frequency of the opportunities and possibilities you desire, the path becomes clear, and the universe responds in kind. This is why readiness isn't a destination. It's a state of being that invites opportunities, much like a well-tuned instrument naturally produces harmonious music. This inner alignment isn't about wishing or hopping, but knowing, feeling, and embodying. The co-creation technique then becomes not the starting point, but the result of this very alignment. When you are ready, it finds you, not the other way around. And what is the core feeling that signals this state of alignment? It's the feeling of already having what you desire. It's a sense of completion, a deep knowing that the manifestation is not something you're trying to create in the future. It's something that is already yours, right now. This powerful feeling is the secret ingredient, a magnetic pull that draws your desired reality into your experience. This also means that the absence of fear is a sign of readiness. Fear is the opposite of trust, and fear blocks any signal you might be sending. When you truly feel that what you desire is already yours, doubt disappears, replaced by an unwavering sense of certainty. This feeling is so critical because it transforms the manifestation process from a struggle to a surrender, a transition from actively pursuing to gracefully receiving. Doubt, on the other hand, is like a weed, choking the life out of any intention. Doubt is what keeps the channel fuzzy, and it is this internal chatter that actively sabotages the co-creative process. And if you've ever struggled to manifest, it's likely that the feeling of already having was missing from your equation. When this feeling is present, there's no chasing, no forcing, just a quiet knowing that you are aligned and the manifestation is inevitable. So, how do we cultivate this inner state of readiness? Let's move from these abstract concepts to something far more concrete. It begins with consistent, practical exercises and a dedication to internal awareness. Daily meditation and mindfulness practices are fundamental. Even a few minutes of quiet contemplation each day can do wonders for clearing the mind and cultivating inner stillness. It's about finding moments of silence amidst the chaos of daily life, moments where you can turn your attention inward. These practices help you to become aware of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs without judgment, creating space between you and your internal landscape. It allows you to see how your inner world is creating your outer one, and by recognizing the patterns, you can deliberately change them. And gratitude practices are another core element. Taking time each day to acknowledge and appreciate the abundance in your life shifts your focus from what you lack to what you already have, and this is the fertile ground for more to manifest. These practices, along with a commitment to self-awareness, allow you to cultivate the internal harmony necessary for the co-creation technique to be revealed. They are the preparation, the necessary work that makes the technique effective, and they will prepare your mind for the new programming that is about to begin. And each small step creates a ripple effect, shifting the overall state of your internal being. And now, let's finally discuss the technique itself, or what you might call an inner technology. It's not some external ritual or formula you follow. Rather, it's a way of programming your subconscious mind, a method that unlocks the inherent power you already possess. This is not magic. It's a form of inner engineering, a way to amplify the potential that lies within you. Think of it as the next level of the journey, not the starting point. It is a tool to enhance and solidify the internal harmony that we've just discussed. This inner technology is revealed to you when you are ready, not before, because it is an advanced technique that builds upon the foundational work you've been doing. It is revealed when you have cultivated a quiet mind, a grateful heart, and a clear intention. It is designed to amplify the internal states of being, and once those are in place, this technique becomes an accelerator. It's like a key that only fits when the lock is ready. This is important to understand because it shows you that you can't force this technique. It will appear naturally when you are in alignment. The core of this technique involves nighttime repetition, a practice that directly engages with the subconscious mind during the most receptive part of your day just before you drift off to sleep. You see, the period between wakefulness and sleep is known as the state akin to sleep, a time when your conscious mind quiets down and your subconscious mind becomes highly impressionable. In this state, your limiting beliefs and old thought patterns are more easily rewritten with a new and empowering narrative. This isn't just some esoteric concept. It's based on the scientific understanding of how the mind works. It's during this time that new messages are deeply imprinted into the core of your being, and when new beliefs are established, that will then shape your entire reality. This is why repetition, just before bed, is so powerful, because it bypasses the critical faculty of the conscious mind, which is often the gatekeeper of old limitations. And just like a computer program, your subconscious mind can be rewritten by the commands you send it. The key, then, is to make sure the commands you are sending it are aligned with your intentions. And just as a consistent, clear signal is needed for a strong radio wave, consistent and focused repetition is the key to the co-creation technique. So, what exactly does this nighttime repetition entail? It involves consciously choosing a specific phrase or affirmation that embodies the reality you desire. The words are not as important as the feelings you hold while repeating them. And these words must be specific to you. They must resonate with your soul. The process is quite simple. Before you go to sleep, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths to calm your mind, and then start repeating your chosen phrase. The key is to say it with intention, with feeling, as if the reality you are affirming is already here. Picture what you desire, feel it in your body, embody it as you speak the words. Your intention needs to be as clear as possible, and as you visualize the outcome, the message will land more deeply within you. Do not simply say the words, experience them, embody them. This isn't just a mechanical exercise. It's a way to reprogram your subconscious, to imprint the reality you desire into the very fabric of your being. And this practice, done consistently, is what slowly shifts your internal state. This practice, done consistently, is where the magic starts. You will begin to notice that your thoughts and emotions start to align with the vision of your desired reality. It's more than just positive thinking. It's about creating a new internal landscape that attracts corresponding external circumstances. And because this technique is working directly with the subconscious mind, it creates far more rapid shifts. This practice directly rewrites old beliefs and old patterns, aligning the subconscious with your conscious intentions. And to make sure this process is as effective as possible, I recommend you commit to repeating your chosen phrase for 21 consecutive nights. The number 21 is significant, not just because it's been mentioned in many different historical and spiritual texts, but because it represents the approximate time needed for new neural pathways to be established in the brain, and it's how the old beliefs begin to dissolve and new ones are formed. Now, the shifts might start to happen immediately, but it will take time for these changes to fully manifest. So, commit to the 21 nights. This is the first step towards truly co-creating your reality. And in the next section, we will discuss the paradox of letting go and why it is such a critical element of this entire process. So, let's solidify the core understanding. This co-creation technique isn't something you actively seek. It's something that aligns with you when you've achieved a state of inner readiness. Remember the radio analogy. You don't chase the signal, you tune your dial to match its frequency. This technique isn't the starting point, it's the outcome of your internal alignment. It's the universe responding to your inner state, the reward for the work you've already put in. Think about it. Why are you even watching this video? What brought you here? Was it a random click or a deeper resonance, a signal from within that you were ready for this information? This isn't a passive concept. It's an active state of being where your inner work invites the external experience you are seeking, where the very act of aligning attracts what you desire. You see, the technique isn't about finding something outside of you. It's about recognizing what is already within. It's about turning the dial and becoming the tuner of your own reality. And this brings us to the pattern of inner alignment attracting outer opportunities. The examples and stories we've discussed aren't just coincidences. They're the direct result of a specific inner state. When you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, the universe responds in kind. When you eliminate fear and embrace trust, opportunities begin to appear effortlessly. Remember, it's about being the tuner, not the seeker. You are not chasing, you are attracting. This shift is the key because it demonstrates that the technique is only effective when you are already vibrating at the correct frequency, and the technique is just the final piece of the puzzle, not the core puzzle itself. It isn't about forcing anything. It's about aligning yourself with the natural flow of creation. And just like a well-tuned instrument produces beautiful music, a well-tuned inner state attracts beautiful experiences, and that well-tuned state is directly connected to how you feel, your internal emotional state. And this process is completely directed by your subconscious mind, which is why the next core understanding is so vital. Let's resolve the idea that nightly repetition impacts the subconscious mind, which is the core driver for co-creation. The nightly practice works to restructure limiting beliefs, and it's through this very process that real change occurs. This isn't just about reciting words. It's about feeling them, embodying them, and integrating them into the very core of your being. The state akin to sleep is so vital because it bypasses the critical nature of the conscious mind, and it imprints the new beliefs on a deeper level. Think of it like planting a seed in fertile soil and watering it each night. With each repetition, the new beliefs take root, and the old ones begin to fade away, and this happens because of the consistent action you're taking each evening. Each night builds upon the previous one, slowly restructuring your internal landscape, and this is where the real power lies, the ability to transform your core beliefs from the inside out. So, it's not the words themselves that carry the power, but the feeling and the intention behind the words that reshape your subconscious. Now, here's a perspective shift for you. Letting go is a critical element of co-creation. It's not about being passive, it's about a powerful act of trust and faith in the process. It's releasing your need to control the outcome and embracing the understanding that the universe is always working in your favor, always providing what is for your highest good. The practice only works when you have released your need to force anything. You need to understand that you are aligning with the universe, not manipulating it. There are no secret formulas. There are only states of being. The universe responds to your inner state, and this is the core mechanism of the entire practice. And the paradox is that you are actively engaging with the technique, while also releasing your attachment to the results. This may seem counterintuitive, but the idea is to trust the process, trust your inner guidance, and know that your inner alignment is the only force required to manifest your desires, and the technique is the way you maintain that alignment. And this brings us to the concept that inner work always precedes external manifestation. The technique isn't an isolated practice, but an integral part of a larger process. You see, all these concepts are connected: the stillness, the presence, the gratitude, the self-awareness. They are all pieces of the same puzzle. They all work together to shift your internal state, and when that happens, the external world must shift as well. It's the law of the universe, a natural order of cause and effect, and it applies to everything: your relationships, your work, your abundance, and your overall well-being. It's about shifting your internal landscape, and when you do that, you transform your entire reality. You have the power to shape your world, and all of the previous concepts have been leading you to this very understanding. It is your state of being that creates the conditions for manifestation, so by changing your internal state, you are also changing your external experiences. So, why is the 21-night repetition so important? It isn't just an arbitrary time frame. It's a structured process designed to move the core ideas from an abstract concept to an ingrained way of being. Each night builds upon the previous, slowly imprinting new beliefs and establishing new neural pathways. The repetition creates a powerful feedback loop. Every time you engage with the practice, you reinforce the new belief, and that very belief is what starts to transform your external reality. It's like building a muscle. With each repetition, the new beliefs become stronger and the old ones begin to dissolve, and the technique itself is simply a tool to accelerate the process. And just like a strong signal on a radio, the consistent repetition sends a clear message to your subconscious, slowly shifting your internal operating system. So, it isn't just about saying words, it's about creating a new way of being. And as your inner landscape starts to shift, you'll begin to notice subtle signs, the proof that you are moving from a state of preparation to a state of co-creation. These aren't just random occurrences, they're the tangible evidence of the internal work you've been doing. Synchronicities will start to appear, new opportunities will present themselves, and you'll have a general feeling of forward momentum. These subtle shifts in perception act as a feedback mechanism that confirms your alignment. These small moments become a type of motivation, a clear indication that your inner world is transforming your outer world, and that you are directly responsible for this. And this entire process is leading you towards a deeper understanding of how you are co-creating your reality. You are not a passive observer in your life. You are an active participant. Co-creation is about aligning your inner state with the universal laws, so you are not manipulating your reality, but rather harmonizing with it. It's about recognizing the power of your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs in shaping your experiences. The technique is not the source of the power, it's the mechanism for maintaining the alignment. And it's through this alignment that your desires begin to manifest effortlessly, like a natural flow of energy. And you begin to understand that this entire process is about becoming a conscious creator of your own unique reality, not just responding to the world around you. You finally understand that the power isn't in the external world, but in your own inner world. So, let's tie all of this together. The inner work, the repetition, the letting go, the subtle shifts, all of these are connected steps that lead to the final stage of trusting the co-creative process. Trust that the universe is always working for you, and trust that you are always being guided. All of these concepts work in unison to create real, tangible change. It's the act of aligning all your inner components and recognizing the power you already possess to create your external experiences. And it's this very act of trusting the process that creates the environment for manifestation to occur. This is the moment to accept that you are the creator and you are here on purpose. And so, we arrive at the core truth. Your inner state is the sole determiner of your reality. Your thoughts, your emotions, your beliefs act as a magnet, attracting experiences that match your vibrational frequency. It is all up to you. You have the power to control your reality, not through external forces, but through your internal landscape. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are creating it. And this is the ultimate expression of your co-creative potential, and the proof is in your ability to create that. You are no longer a passive receiver of experience, but an active participant in your own creation. You are the master of your inner world, and by mastering that, you also master your outer world. This is where you will find true freedom. And with this understanding, let's finally resolve the initial question. Why are you here? You were guided to this information when you were ready. This video is not an accident. It is a sign of an inner shift that is ready to manifest. You were drawn here by your own internal guidance system, by the subtle nudges of your intuition. You were meant to see this message at this very moment. And it's no coincidence that you have reached this point. This synchronistic event is proof that you are ready to move forward, to embrace your potential, and to begin co-creating the reality you truly desire. You are here because the time is right, and the inner shift you have been preparing for is about to begin. And now, the tension is released, and you have both the knowledge and the mechanism to create a fulfilling life, a life that is aligned with your inner truth. This isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning, an invitation to step into your power and consciously shape your reality. This is the moment to start, and the first step is to begin the 21-night practice of nighttime repetition. Are you ready to transform your entire reality through the power of your own inner state? Now, the next question then is, how can you apply this to every area of your life? What other changes do you want to manifest through this practice? How can you take these core concepts and apply them to your relationships, your career, your overall well-being? This isn't a prescriptive process. It's an adaptive one. You are now a conscious creator, able to experiment with the core concepts and adapt the technique to fit your unique life. The power is all yours. You are the architect of your own unique reality, and the techniques themselves are simply tools to allow your vision to be realized. So, begin to question what other goals you want to achieve through this powerful and transformative practice. And let us create a sense of community, a shared journey, by inviting you to share your experiences, your insights, and your future goals in the comments below. Engage with others on this path, learn from their experiences, and offer your own support. By sharing your journey, you're not only helping yourself, but you're also helping others along the way. And the more that people are aware of their inherent power, the more powerful we become as a whole. Let this community be a reflection of the power that lies within all of you. This journey is not meant to be taken alone. And finally, I encourage you to keep exploring these concepts, to keep asking questions, to keep learning and growing. There will be future videos that will expand on this idea and offer more resources for you to explore. Remember that this is an ongoing journey of self-discovery and the constant pursuit of your highest potential. This is simply the beginning of the next chapter. Stay engaged, stay curious, and stay aligned. Thank you for being here. Now go and create your reality.